Hi guys, today's dish is going to be a fish broth. Ingredients needed are going to be some potatoes. I have them cubed here, some green banana, and I have 2 plantains. Plantain is optional. I have 4 pieces of some kingfish that has been marinating in some green seasoning overnight. Okro, chopped beni, some tomatoes, carrots, lime, assortment of seasonings. So I have some chopped onions, scallions, pimento pepper, garlic, hot pepper, and thyme, as well as some salt and black pepper, some oil, and I have thin spaghetti here. I also need some water. Let's get started. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get a large pot, something that has a nice deep bottom because you are gonna be making a broth. You're gonna turn your pot on and let the pot heat up until it gets nice and hot. Pot gets nice and hot, you're gonna throw in some oil, enough just to cover the bottom. And then you're going to go in with your seasonings here. And you can throw them all in at one time. You're gonna let that go for about a minute or 2 until your onions and garlic get nice and soft. After your seasoning is nice and soft, I'm gonna go in with my carrots and my tomatoes. And I'm only gonna let that go for about 20 seconds and then go in with my okro. And if you don't like okro, you can skip this step and mix. I'm gonna take half of my shadow beni and throw it in the pot. And follow that up with my potatoes. And the green fig and the plantain. And mix. I'm going to lightly salt. And mix that again. Wow. And now add in 2 cups of water. I'm looking at that, I think I might need about 2 cups more, so I'm gonna add another 2 cups of water. Thank you. So now I'm gonna mix that in all together. I'm gonna allow this to come to a boil. And when it does start boiling, I'm gonna cover the pot and then allow it to simmer for a little bit to get these potatoes, the okra, the carrots, everything nice and soft. Turning my heat up too high. And I'm just gonna give it a stir around so that if there's anything stuck to the bottom, it will cook down very nicely. So taking a look at where the soup base is right now, I think I just want a little bit more liquid, so I'm going in with 2 more cups of water, and I'm gonna check the tenderness of my potatoes. I'm gonna give that a mix, and I'm just gonna take a regular fork and stick it through the potatoes. See how. All right, so it is going through very nicely, so I'm gonna now, instead of waiting the extra 5 minutes, I'm gonna put in my fish now. So I have these pieces here. Just gonna Put those in. And stir. Or try to stir at least. And get them down to the middle so they can cook evenly. You don't want to mix and stir too much because your fish will start to break up and shred inside your broth. The remainder of the shadow beni I'm going to add to the soup now. And I'm going to cover the pot and let this simmer for about 10 minutes, 15 at the most. And add some black pepper. This has been going for about 7 minutes. The macaroni that I had in the beginning, I'm gonna start adding some of that in. So take your macaroni out of the package and you're gonna just break it into pieces so that you get little 3-inch pieces of macaroni. Add it in. And also at this point, you can taste for salt and add any more salt if you need to. Off camera, I did add a little bit of golden ray butter. That's a personal preference for me. So I don't need to add any more much salt because that butter is already salted. I'm just gonna mix that macaroni in and allow that to cook. In about 10 minutes, this should be already done and ready to eat. Alright guys, so the fish broth is done at this point. Just give you a look at what the pasta looks like. I like my pasta in the middle. You can make yours al dente or you can let it boil down till it's super soft. This is a good texture for me, so I'm going to leave it there. The last step is going to be adding your lime. If you had fresh lime or any lime juice, I'm just going to squeeze this in the pot. Mix it in. And there you have it, guys. Fish broth.